Next phase in Habitat for Humanity's Legacy Trails subdivision is officially beginning. Supporters of the nonprofit took part in a groundbreaking ceremony this morning just north of Springfield. Now, this is the third and final phase in the development, adding about 14 homes to the 39 that are already in the neighborhood. Springfield's Community Focus Report has identified a lack of affordable housing as a problem in our area. Habitat's executive director says this development is an important step in addressing that issue.
It absolutely is a red flag in our community. We're definitely trying to partner with other communities and other partnerships to really turn that into a blue ribbon. It is a slower process. Many times it is one house at a time, one neighborhood at a time. Everything we can do to make a difference, we'll kind of move that dial into the positive direction.
The infrastructure improvements for this phase, things like roads and sewers, were paid for with Greene County ARPA funds.